I got a turtleneck on, I got my hair in a bun, earthy toned lipstick, like I just feel so fall. Hey guys, so as you can tell by the title of this video, today's video is going to be a Q&A video. I am so excited because this is my first Q&A video, and the reason I'm doing it is because I just hit 10,000 subscribers, and I know that's not a lot on YouTube, but I'm going to tell you guys at the end of this video why that is so huge to me. But I posted a short video last week asking you guys to send me in questions, and I was blown away by how good the questions were, and I am so eager to answer these because they're such good questions. So let's just get into it. 90% of these are questions that you guys sent in my last video, and some of them I just took from other videos because they were frequently asked questions that I get a lot, and I just felt like answering them here. This is a question that I get a lot on my channel, which is, what does your tattoo say? My tattoo says, "Gather ye rosebuds while ye may." It is from one of my favorite poems of all time, which is "To the virgins to make much of time," and it just means to do stuff while you still have the chance. What is your favorite song at the moment? I don't really have a favorite song at the moment, but I do have a favorite album at the moment. It's a few years old, and I've never heard of this band until like last month, but the album is Mademoiselle by the Underground Youth. It is so good. It's like indie. That's mostly what I listen to, is like rock and indie, but it's just such a good album. Like, if you've never heard of it, you need to listen to it. What is your favorite urban legend? LY. I think LY means love you, so love you too. My favorite urban legend, there's so many urban legends. There's like, you know, Bloody Mary, Candyman, all those, but I probably have to say one of my favorites is the story about the girl and the scarf, the hitchhiker and the scarf. If you've never heard of that story, it's probably the first urban legend I ever heard of, and it's just the story of that guy who was driving and he picked up a woman on the side of the road who was a hitchhiker, and he lent her his scarf because it was cold out, and he dropped her off home, and the next day he went to pick up his scarf, and you know, the family was like, oh, she passed away a long time ago, and they told him where her grave was, and he went to her grave and there was this scarf over her grave. That's just like my favorite urban legend. I don't know, I always loved it. What is your favorite candy? By the way, love you. Love you too. I'm gonna say love you too to every single person that said that they love me in the comments, so just be prepared. But I'm not a big candy person, but I am absolutely obsessed with Reese's. Reese's anything, like Reese's Cups, Reese's Pieces. I could really go for some Reese's right now. Have you ever gone to any places that are presumably haunted? If so, did you see anything? I've been to quite a few places that are known for being haunted. I've been on a few ghost tours where they take you to haunted locations, and I actually went on one a few years ago, and I took a picture, and there was this really weird thing that showed up in the picture, and I'm kind of thinking about showing it in a video because anybody I show can automatically see it and see that there's something weird in the photo. So if you guys want me to do a video about that and what I caught, then definitely put that down in the comments below. I'm just very like, you know, I don't know if I should share it or not, but I really want to, so let me know about that. Would you ever want to stay at a famous haunted hotel? Where is one place you want to travel to most? Love you. Love you too. Yes, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I'm dying to stay at the Roosevelt Hotel. I want to stay there so bad. And also the Stanley Hotel. My mom stayed at the Stanley Hotel not long ago, and she has a crazy paranormal experience that happened to her, and when she comes to visit next month, I'm sitting her down and she's gonna tell you guys because it freaked me out so bad. And a place that I want to travel to most, my places that I want to travel to most in the US are LA. I want to go to LA so bad. New Orleans. Outside of the US, I'm dying to go to Switzerland, Paris, Iceland. Those are like my main places. I want to travel so bad. Biggest fear. If we're talking about like life fears, definitely living a life where I didn't accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish, or I didn't do anything extravagant. I just lived like a mediocre life and I didn't do anything that I was dying to do. I think that's like my biggest fear. But actual like phobias, I am terrified of tornadoes. I lived in Florida for most of my life and I've been through a few tornadoes. That's hands down my biggest fear. I'm also terrified of heights and I hate flying, and I have that trypophobia. Do you guys know what that is? Have you looked it up? Don't look it up. It's like the fear of a bunch of holes together in like an that I can't even think about it. Like, Fav Song. If we're talking favorite song of all time, I have like 3 favorite songs of all time that I will never get sick of, and that is Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac, Don't Cry by Guns N' Roses, and Me and Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin. Those are like my top 3 favorite songs of all time, hands down. Favorite band. Oh my gosh, I have so many different favorite bands, but if we're talking like top band that like I don't listen to every single day, but I'm quite devoted to, is definitely Blink-182. I love them so much, and I saw them for the first time not that long ago, and even though Tom isn't in the band anymore, it's kind of depressing, but I cried. Hi, would you want to go to a haunted town? If yes, which one? By the way, I love you, keep doing your thing and slaying. Thank you, I love you too. And I would love to go to a haunted town. I want to go to a haunted town somewhere in New Orleans or maybe in Georgia. I know there's some amazing haunted locations in Georgia, so either one of those. If you could rid the world of one thing, what would it be and why? By the way, Illy, love you too. And I'd probably have to rid the world of sickness. I definitely would have to probably rid the world of sickness, just because it's one of the most horrible things to go through or see somebody else go through. Having an illness, it takes over your life, so I would probably have to rid the world of any illnesses. Have you ever considered doing paranormal vlogs where you go visit places in order to see if you can capture the supernatural on tape? Love you. Love you too. And yes, 100%. Now, I'm not a ghost hunter, so I don't think I'm gonna be capturing much, if anything at all, but I would love to just show you guys around and do a vlog where I actually go to the locations, and there's so many locations I want to do vlogs and go to. For instance, the historical town of Sleepy Hollow is not that far from me, so I definitely want to go there. And also I want to do a vlog where I show you guys around the Woodlawn Cemetery, which I made 2 videos about that, which I will link down below. And I want to go to a few abandoned places. I live in New York. There's a ton of really cool abandoned places that I've never even been to, so I definitely want to start doing vlogs. Can you list some of your favorite old Hollywood celebrities and movies? Ever since I saw your videos, I wanted to know this. Love you. Love you too. Yes, of course, I can definitely list some of my favorites, but the list is kind of long, so instead of me just rambling off names and movie titles, I'm going to put that in the description below if you guys are interested. I'm putting my favorite actors, my favorite actresses, and some of my favorite films, including silent films, so that is down in the description if anybody wants to see that. When you were a little kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Also, you're amazing. I love your videos. Thank you so much. When I was little, I wanted to be a plane feeder. Now, if you're like, what is a plane feeder? A plane feeder is what I called a flight attendant. The person that goes down the aisle and gives you peanuts or pretzels. That was my goal at 3 years old, was to be a plane feeder. Where did you learn to draw? Were you self-taught? And also, Illy so much and you're truly beautiful. I love you too. Thank you so much. I swear, some of you guys' comments seriously melts my heart. But if you don't know this, I am like an artist. I don't know. I make money from commissions. I draw. So if you don't follow me on Instagram or anything, you probably don't know that. But I am, for the most part, self-taught. I grew up around art. My dad and my uncle were amazing at drawing, and I always kind of wanted to be like them, so I practiced a lot when I was younger. I did take it in high school for a little while, but I don't feel like I learned a lot from it. I kind of fell out of love with art, and then a few years ago I picked it up mostly from inspiration from Instagram. I followed a lot of artists on there, and I just watched their techniques, and I just was so inspired. So I picked it up again and started practicing. But I've gotten a few questions from people who are subscribed to me on YouTube about if I sell my art or not, because they wanted to purchase it. And I do have a website up, so if you are interested, I will link that down in the description below. How do you deal with negativity and fake people in your life? This is an amazing question. I grew up around a lot of negativity. I really did. I didn't have like a bad childhood or anything, but there was a lot of negativity in my life, a lot of negative people that came in and out, or negative situations that had happened. I think you just have to not let it bring you down. And I know that's easier said than done, but you just have to kind of absorb all the positive and just block out all the negative, because negativity is an energy and it's very easy to absorb and let it take over your life. As for fake people, they're fake, and you know, it's not a loss if you're not friends with them anymore, or you have to cut them out of your life. It's not a loss, you know. They're not good friends to begin with. How did you get the name Gabulosis, and what is your most embarrassing story? Love you. Love you too. And how I got the name Gabulosis. I know that is such a weird name, and if you don't know the backstory, you're probably like, what? It sounds like a disease, like, I know. But my great uncle, he is the person who got my family into the paranormal years and years and years ago, since, you know, my mom was a child. He got everybody into the paranormal, and he had a nickname for everybody in my family. Like, every single person had a nickname. And when I was about 9 years old, like, I had always wanted a nickname from him, because like everybody had one. And I was out of the room and he was just chilling there one day, and he's just like, "Where's Gabulosis?" And everyone's like, "Gabulosis? What's the..." So that's where the name came from, and it just stuck. And I thought it was appropriate because this is a channel where I talk about weird things, and he's the person who got us all into it. As for embarrassing stories, I have a lot. My life is quite embarrassing, but as for ones that don't include anybody else that like I really don't want to talk about, or like personal stories, there's one that happened when I was younger. I was probably about 12 or 13, like, you know, that age where your body is just like so awkward, and like you're just trying, you don't even know like what does what, and you're like still like growing into everything, like you're just awkward. Like, I was at that age, and I went to the hair salon, and I had one of those shirts that tied behind my neck, and she drapes the thing over me, and when she went to take it off after she cut my hair, it got hooked on the straps, and I flashed like everybody in the salon. It was really embarrassing. Would you ever visit Scotland, and what's your top tip on dealing with anxiety? Love you. Love you too, Erin. And yes, I would definitely visit Scotland. Scotland is actually the #1 place my mom wants to visit, and I'm going to take her one day. Like, we are going to go to Scotland. I'm so excited. I don't know when that's gonna be, but I am definitely going to go sometime in my life. And as for dealing with anxiety, if you're a part of my channel for a while, you know that I deal a lot with anxiety. I made a whole video on it, which I will link down below. But I think the main tip is you just have to realize that it's not the end of the world. When you're in a state of anxiety, it feels like it's like life or death. You just have to try to work through it and tell yourself that you're not in any harm and everything's gonna be okay. But it's not easy, but that's probably my #1 tip. Since when have you had an obsession over the deaths of old movie stars, and why? By the way, love your channel. Keep up the good work. I love you so much. I love you too. Thank you so much. And I don't really have an obsession over the deaths of old movie stars. It's just that I love the history of film so much. I love old movies, and as you do research about these different people, you do realize that some of them have very strange, unexplained deaths, like Carole Lombard, Olive Thomas, Peggy Entwistle, James Dean. Some of them just have very strange deaths, and I love the unexplained, and I love old movies, so it's kind of like 2 in 1 for me. How did you become interested in the paranormal world? Love you. Love you too. Like I said before, I kind of grew up around it. My mom loves the paranormal. She definitely is the person who sparked my interest in it. I grew up around these family stories, and I didn't have anything personally happen to me until I was in my early teens. But I've always loved it. I didn't really get to an age and think, oh, I'm gonna get into paranormal. I definitely grew up around it. Do you have any favorite conspiracy theories? Yes, I do. I have so many favorite conspiracy theories, mostly about aliens or like government cover-ups or whatever, but probably my favorite and the one that interested me the most was the hollow earth theory. If you have never heard of it, look it up. It blew my mind. After I first heard about it, I was seriously sitting in my room like, do I know anybody with a plane who can like fly me up to the North Pole so I can see if there's actually a hollow earth? What is the most unusual / unique experience you ever had? I love your videos. Thank you. And definitely, hands down, the strangest experience I've ever had was my experiences at the Woodlawn Cemetery. If you haven't seen those videos, I will link those down below. I've just never ever in my entire life been in a situation like that. It was just so much energy. It was just so much feeling, like you just felt it, like, and I never really pick up on feelings, and it was just plain as day. And the strange things that happened while I was there, it was just, I've never ever been in an experience like that. So that's definitely my most unique experience. So that was it for the questions. I just want to say thank you to anybody who left me a question or showed me any support in any way on any of my videos since I've started my channel. The reason that hitting 10,000 was so big for me is because I have always wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I just never knew what direction I wanted to go down. But at the beginning of this year, I made a New Year's resolution, and I never make New Year's resolutions ever. But this year I did. And my first New Year's resolution was I was going to finally start a YouTube channel. And my goal that I put underneath that was to hit 10,000 subscribers before the year was out. And I remember thinking as I was writing that down, like, maybe I should change it. Maybe I should put 5,000 or 2,000. And I was like, you know what? No, my goal is 10,000 for this year. And I hit it in 6 months. And like, that was amazing to me. It blew my mind. And I know 10,000 is not a lot, but the support that I've gotten on here and the love from people and just the comments, and I never thought in a million years that any of that would happen. I just seriously appreciate you guys so much, and I know 10,000, like I said, is not a whole lot on YouTube when people have millions, but it is to me. It means a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. I'm just really proud of my little channel, and I just have so much planned, and I honestly can't wait. So I hope you guys do stick around to see it. But if you are not already, make sure to subscribe and like and any of that good stuff, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.